Hello, YouTube. This is Set Free from the Ministry Church. I am on here to share bragging about the violence that's going on in our community is not helping. Bragging about the violence in hip hop lyrics is not helping our community at all. A lot of rappers try to justify and say they keeping it real. That's not keeping it real. That's not keeping it real. Bragging about the violence that's going on in the community. Bragging about it. Bragging about the violence in hip hop. Bragging about the violence in our community. That's not helping nobody. That's not helping nobody in the hood. That's not helping nobody nowhere and trying to justify it. And it's not about no freedom of speech. It's not about freedom of speech. It's about bragging about the violence in our community and hip hop lyrics is not helping nobody. It don't matter how much money you make. That's not helping the community. Rapping about what's going on around us and glorifying it. That's what rappers are doing today in hip hop. The stuff you hear today is not hip hop. Bragging about how hard you are, how rough, tough you are, and you got men and women who are buying into those lyrics. That's not hip hop. So Proverbs 14:12 in the Bible says, there is a way of life that looks harmless. Look again, it leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time. All the laughter will end in heartbreak. Hip hop is leading to heartbreak. It leads to heartbreak. Bragging about the crime and bragging about how hard you are and bragging about all the criminal activity that you're doing, that you're telling everybody you're doing. And then if the lyrics are not negative, nobody won't listen to it because that's what people are used to. You got young men and women who think living negative is life. That ain't life. Living negative is not life because it's bragged about in hip hop today. There is a way of life that looks harmless. Man's ways look harmless. There is a way of life that looks harmless. Look again, it leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time. All that laughter will end in heartbreak. Man's ways end in heartbreak. So bragging about the violence and the stuff that's going on the street in hip hop, it's not helping nobody. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. What happened is that rappers are using the street life to sell digital albums. Rappers are using the streets. What you're hearing today is not hip hop. It's not hip hop. It's not hip hop at all. This is not hip hop what you're hearing today. If you don't rap about negativity in your album, then nobody won't listen to it because that's what people used to. People used to negativity. They used to that. So bragging about the violence in our community in hip hop is not helping the community. It's not. It's not at all. Even the rappers from the 90s, what they rapping about, that's still not helping nobody. It's not helping anyone. It don't matter how much money and fame you got. Living negative is not cool. And so many young men and women think living negative is cool. It's not. There is a way of life that looks harmless. The way of man, the way of woman, it looks harmless. Look again. It leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time. All that laughter will end in heartbreak. It's going to end in heartbreak. Man's ways end in heartbreak. Woman's ways end in heartbreak. But bragging on the violence in our community in hip hop, that's not helping nobody. That ain't helping nobody. Man think his ways are better than Christ's ways. And I'm sharing with you from the Bible. This is Proverbs 14:12. There is a way of life that looks harmless. Look again. It leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time. All the laughter will end in heartbreak. Man's ways end in heartbreak. Bye-bye.